Good afternoon, friends. You are listening to Full Toss on Radio Dil. Online radiodil.com for iPhone downloads, application known as Radio Dil. You can also listen to us on your regular phones. Dial in the number 408-418-5000 for Android phones, application known as Tune Radio. Phone number in the studio 732-800-1008. आप सुन रहे Radio Dil. Dil se Dil tak. Time in the studio is 2:06, October 20th, 2012. This is your host, Amit. Would like to welcome all the listeners. And above all, Amanat, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much, Amit. It's a beautiful fall day in New Jersey. Cricket is in the air everywhere.
And we're blessed with some great temperatures here, Amanat, in Edison, New Jersey.
Yes.
Today, 70s today, 70s tomorrow. And I know that the colder air is already here. You can already see all the colors changing. You know, if you have trees around where you live in the neighborhood, it's hard to find sometimes in Jersey and all these big developments. You know, they're cutting down trees a lot here. But you can see the changing of the color now, finally. Fall is here in full swing. But as I said earlier, we're blessed with some great temperatures. And also we're blessed with some great cricket around the world.
Absolutely. Cricket is happening even in Pakistan.
Oh, absolutely, sir. And it's good for the supporters, fans in Pakistan. Finally,
Exactly.
they're getting something, some action in their neck of the woods.
Absolutely. The passionate cricketers of Pakistan deserve a break.
Amanat, we had I think over the decade of that Full Toss has been on air. We were blessed with the presence of one of India's greatest legendary wicketkeepers, Syed Kirmani, who was on Full Toss last week.
Yes, I'm still on a high.
Yes.
I couldn't believe that I was
still
sharing.
hungover on that thing, Amanat.
Absolutely. I couldn't.
And rightly so. Rightly so, Amanat.
It was really an honor, privilege, and an unforgettable set of moments to be sharing the mic with Syed Kirmani, to listen to all his stories about the World Cup and other events. And one was simply struck and was spellbound by the man's humility. And
that's exactly what I was going to get into.
the man's humility was unbelievable. Never once we thought he was a great superstar kind of an attitude. Okay, it was really wonderful to hear Sir Syed Kirmani speaking here.
And he spent a lot of time with us. We had lunch together before the show. And in the evening, you and I, along with Vijay, we hosted the Edison Cricket Club 9th Annual Awards.
Yes.
And that was also a wonderful evening. Atul Hoku and Srujal Parekh and his team of Edison Cricket Club, they put together a very, very nice show.
It was an excellent show.
I really like what they do is they honor all the cricketers, their achievements. And not only that, we also, one of the awards, two of the awards that were given, they were not related to cricket at all. They were in fact given to two of the tennis players.
Rising tennis
players, Shikha and Neha Oberoi.
Yes, it was more of a community event.
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
Where community leaders were there.
Atul and Srujal, if you're listening, and your entire Edison Cricket Club gang, you guys, you gentlemen are doing a fantastic job. Keep up the good work. Full Toss is always behind you. We'll always support you. Whenever you need us, we're always there for you.
Yeah, and the same option is given to all the cricketers, cricket clubs, that we are there to support them in whatever efforts they do.
Also had a chance to meet with Avinash Gazay of NJSBCL. And their season also ended with the finals. And Avinash told me that they had a tremendous response from supporters, crowd that showed up for the finals.
Excellent.
And Deepak Kate's league, which is the New Jersey Cricket Umpires and Umpire Association and Cricket Association, I believe they're having their finals tomorrow.
They're having their quarterfinals,
semifinals. Well, not the finals.
The
finals is coming up
on 28th.
28th of November.
Yeah. No, October.
Today is 20th October.
So 1 week later.
1 week later.
Yeah.
So good luck to them. And Deepak, I know Deepak's league has been going leaps and bounds. They're growing leaps and bounds. And we wish them the best of luck.
They bring a different perspective, giving a lot of emphasis on umpiring. And that's very nice.
What I like about this league, Amanat, the courses that they have to offer, they are certified by the ICC.
That's very important.
That is very important. And all the officiating umpires that we have seen. They do an excellent job. Not to undermine any of the officials that we have witnessed in other league matches. I mean, I think they do a pretty splendid job. We met Dimple Patel. I've known Dimple for many years, over more than 10, 12 years now, and he's been officiating games for many, many years. So good luck to all of you. And Amarnath, we have a pretty interesting lineup today.
Okay, go ahead.
There is the Champions League T20 that is currently happening.
In South Africa?
South Africa. Then you have the Australia and South Africa series going to be taking place. Sri Lanka versus New Zealand. And the biggest of all, India versus England.
That's going to be a humdinger.
Yes, indeed, sir. Already so much of hype has been created on both the sides. I love this, by the way, Amarnath. I love this. Both the Indian media and the English media. This is for them. This is their the biggest festival. They have this verbal diarrhea. That's what I call them. Anybody and almost anybody would love to go on a mic and start making statements. Most of them you can pretty much ignore them. Most of them. Yeah. I feel that way.
Well, it is the time to speculate. That's all.
Well, you know what? I think that they do more than speculations. I have been following some of the experts that you and I, we both follow them. We read a lot of the stuff, and not everything coming out of their mouths is it's worth listening to. Let me put it this way.
Well, with the amount of cricket being played, the amount of cricket media also has increased exponentially.
You know what, Amarnath? I have a point that we couldn't discuss that last week and the previous weeks. Here's my beef with a lot of especially Indian media. Why do we need to go to Australia to certify our players? Why can't we ask our own players, ex-cricketers, who are equally capable? They have achieved so much. Why do we need an Ian Chappell or a Mark Waugh or anybody for that matter to say or to validate how good Rahul Dravid or Sachin Tendulkar, or even for that matter, any newcomers are? Why do we have to go to Australia or any other countries to that? I have a big problem with that.
There are two reasons for it. I don't know about the problem you have. I can tell you two reasons for it. One, Ian Chappell is very good. Okay.
What? We don't have any good players?
Okay. No. So he was world class. So we do have.
How come you don't ever hear saying that this is what Gundappa Vishwanath had to say? This is what Syed Kirmani had to say. This is what some of the great players had to say.
But then Gundappa Vishwanath or somebody of his stature should be a media person. They're at best match referees. They should become part of the media.
Well, nobody goes and asks them.
No, but they should make the effort to become part of the media. How many top players do the hard work of regularly showing up for press conferences and writing columns? That's my beef. You need to have top players putting the hard work of becoming media people. It's not to be a respectable media person also needs a commitment. So that's what is the very important thing needed for being respected as a media journalist. You have to show the commitment of regularly writing about cricket players and cricket matches.
Not now, Amarnath. I'm not talking about just now. I'm talking about.
Take for example Akash Chopra. I like his columns.
I read his columns all the time,
and I would respect his views. If he is going to say some player is good, I would definitely give it a second thought.
Listen, I read Akash Chopra's columns. I read Harsha Bhogle's columns. Yes. I read Sanjay Manjrekar's columns.
Yes, I would.
Sunil Gavaskar columns. I read all the columns all the time.
Yes, but the thing is, you need a great player who's also a great media writer. You don't find too many of them.
But I also feel that I don't think the journalists in India do enough to approach.
That I agree. See, we have to develop our own experts. We have not done that.
Yeah.
We have when we say we in India have not done enough to develop proper Indian media experts. Okay.
Yeah, I agree to you on that one. I do agree to you. But every time I read that, I mean, you open up any of the news sites, especially any of the Indian newspapers online or cricket magazines. The first thing you see, this is what Ian Chappell had to say about Harmeet Singh. Good, but why aren't you asking somebody in India? I mean, we asked Mr. Syed Kirmani last week.
Yes.
And he had plenty to add to that.
Yes, absolutely.
And he spoke so well on that issue.
And his point was, he needs time.
He needs time. He absolutely needs time. Another hot topic, Amarnath, for last few days. I know you have read this thing. I know, you've read it. I know Vijay must have also digested it pretty well right now. Matthew Hayden had to say something about Tendulkar's award.
And that didn't surprise me one bit.
That did not surprise me. And you know what? For the first time, I actually agreed with him.
No, I disagree with him.
Why?
Tendulkar is such an iconic figure.
Let's give our listeners a little background of exactly what we are discussing.
Okay. The Prime Minister of Australia decided to give the Order of Australia to Sachin Tendulkar. And Hayden has objected, telling that it should be offered to only Australians.
Well, let me put it this way. Any of the highest civilian or any of the awards that are offered, how many have you offered anything to outside players?
In India, I think some awards are there which we have given. We have like the
on a national level.
At a national level, we have got like a Mahatma Gandhi award. We give it to foreigners like Mandela and others. They have got.
No. Players. I'm talking about players in general. Cricketers in general.
In India.
Yes.
No, India is not offered. That doesn't mean we should not offer.
No. We haven't offered that yet, right?
We haven't offered that.
I mean, if there are any awards that have been given, I urge listeners to please let us know. You can always give us a call here at 732-800-1008. You can always send us an email here at info@fulltosscricket.com. And there are various avenues you can reach us.
No, definitely I think it's in fact, BCCI should institute an award for cricketers apart from Indians who have done a lot to improve the game. Like, for example, Steve Waugh. I have a great respect for what Steve Waugh has done. And
yes, so do I. He's still doing it.
He's still doing. They do definitely deserve to be recognized.
In fact, Steve Waugh does a lot of things in India. He holds a lot of camps. He does a lot of charity work.
And so the fact that
the fact is we don't have anything. The people in India, they don't have any awards that can be given to maybe a Steve Waugh, Alan Border, or anybody else, right?
No, but I think...
So why are we upset that if Matthew Hayden had to say that about Tendulkar? Are we upset because it's Tendulkar?
I'm not upset. He has every right to express his point of view. See, it's not a question of being upset. It's a question of understanding a certain person's point of view. And I understand Matthew Hayden's point of view that it should be reserved only for Australians. That's perfectly fine. But hey, it's up to the Prime Minister, his own Prime Minister, who felt...
Continuing on Sachin Tendulkar. Tendulkar, along with Zahir Khan, will be participating in the upcoming Ranji matches.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I've been following the Duleep Trophy matches just recently concluded. What phenomenal matches, Amarnath.
Right from Yuvraj Singh hitting the double century
along with Shikhar Dhawan. That match was very interesting, Amarnath.
Yes.
The North Zone posted a pretty solid total. They became very complacent in their when they were bowling, and especially the last wicket partnership put together almost 100 runs.
Yes.
And the Central Zone actually managed to take a lead.
That was enough.
That was more than enough. And I think these are very well contested matches, Amarnath, and I'm really glad and that BCCI is also encouraging. They're also broadcasting these matches. I mean, if you live in this area, if you have Willow TV, you can actually watch these matches live.
Yes.
And I'm really excited, happy, and glad that we're able to see these domestic matches as well.
No, it makes a difference to know who are all the second rung of players coming. My point is India is such a large country, and given the number of players playing in India, we should not have one test team. We should really have 10 test teams. If, for example, Sri Lanka with just 18 or 20 million people can put up a good test show, India with 1 billion should have at least 5 to test teams. They can develop almost every region into a test level status. And the only way to do that is to make the level of competition in Duleep Trophy very, very tough. That's the way. Have intense 4-day, 5-day matches. And make it worthwhile. Give a prize money which is very high. Say the winner of the Duleep Trophy will get 1 crore. You can see
that's not going to happen.
BCCI is short-sighted, or they need to be told. I don't want to abuse anybody. BCCI needs to bring in show me the money. That is the that saying is still very true. If the money comes of a high order, the quality will follow also to some extent. It may not be proportional, but the quality will come in. And also put in the provision that every regional team can hire 2 foreign players to make them strong in the departments they need.
You know what? I'm glad you brought this topic up. I remember Vijay and I, we discussed this same issue almost 7 years back, live on air, by the way, on Full Toss. And at that time, we were discussing Bangladesh. And what Vijay had to offer at that time, and I totally agreed with him at that time. He said, you have a test team that is in the process of being developed.
Yes.
Why don't you invite some of the players from Bangladesh to participate in the domestic structure? Because they don't have a good domestic structure back in Bangladesh. You want to groom your players, send them abroad where the domestic structure is really good. Just like, players from other countries, and especially Indian players, they go to play county cricket.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
They should allow every Ranji team to allow to have about 1 or 2 foreign players playing for them. That will help everybody.
Now, this is something, again, it's going to be a joint effort between the ICC and the BCCI, and it's to how to develop the minnows, if I can use that word, minnows, to promote, to come up at the test level.
See, if you can make the West Zone, North Zone, and South Zone as good as any test team in the world, then India will become an even more stronger force. That is the key. How do you make South Zone or West Zone or North Zone, any of these zonal teams, extremely competitive and extremely competent? There has to be a competency center, essentially.
Oh, friends, you are listening to Full Toss with Amit and Amanat on Radio Dil, online, radiodil.com. For iPhone downloads, application known as Radio Dil. You can also give us a call here at 732-800-1008. Once again, that is 732-800-1008. Amanat, real quickly, I want to go over the Champions League T20 match that is going on.
Okay.
And currently, there's a match going on between the Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians. Now, real quickly, so far, your intake on the Champions League T20 before I get into Mumbai Indians.
The Champions League T20 is a very interesting format from the point of view of IPL and others. It gives you an idea how tough are how good are the IPL players in conditions outside the subcontinent. Okay, and they have been found to be wanting, or they, in some respects, which is expected. You don't expect the same kind of featherbed wickets in South Africa, and it was interesting to see even teams from New Zealand, like the Auckland team, giving everybody a run for the money. And it's interesting to see Kolkata Knight Riders are out of the tournament.
Yes.
So the Champions League is a wonderful concept. Too bad it may not last too long.
Well, Amanat, real quickly, I'll go ahead and read the current scorecard for Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians. Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians. And here's a match that is going on at the Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg. Chennai Super Kings, batting first, scored 173 after losing 8 wickets in 20 overs. And here's a look at the scorecard. Murli Vijay, 39. By the way, Murli Vijay had a pretty good domestic season. He's been scoring heavily.
Well, he's a bully on Indian wickets.
Yes. We'll hold on to that thought because I'm going to come to him. Du Plessis.
Yes, that South African guy.
South African. He scored a good half century, 52. 35 for Mahendra Singh Dhoni, in 19 deliveries, 3 boundaries and 2 sixes. 12 for Ravindra Jadeja, 13 for Ashwin. And Raina could only manage to get 8, 2 for Badrinath, 0 for Albi Morkel. Another dangerous batsman, but Chennai managed to get 173 in 20 overs, Amanat. And currently, Mumbai Indians require another 77 runs with 6 wickets in hand in 39 deliveries.
It's going to be very interesting. It's pretty close, pretty even at this stage.
And here's how things unfolded for Mumbai Indians. Smith, 13, 2 for Tendulkar. Rohit Sharma 32, 41 for Dinesh Karthik.
He's
and
still,
Amarnath, let's
he's still
see.
batting.
Let's see if we can take this caller online. Radio Dil, you're live on air. Your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Sripat Kulkarni calling from Pune, India.
Hello, Mr. Kulkarni. How are you, sir?
Welcome to the show.
I'm fine. I'm fine, sir. I have also listened the radio program last Saturday with Kirmani ji.
Oh, yes, indeed. In fact, I remember receiving a call from you, and we appreciate you participating and giving us a call. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I want to just talk with Mohinder Amarnath. Can I?
Now, I'm Amarnath, but I'm not Mohinder Amarnath.
Not Mohinder Amarnath, but that's Amarnath on for full toss Amarnath, you can say that. Go ahead, Kulkarni, sir.
Okay. Okay. I'm enjoying your program, and actually I thought it is Mohinder Amarnath, so I wanted to...
I'm sorry to
one of
disappoint
these days, Shripad, one of these days we'll get him here. We're working on it.
Okay, no problem, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, take care, sir.
Take care.
Okay.
Sorry to disappoint them, but I'm neither Surinder Amarnath nor Mohinder Amarnath.
You're Sam Amarnath.
I'm Sambasivan Amarnath.
Sambasivan Amarnath. Well, Amarnath, here's how things unfolded for Mumbai Indians. Did not have a good start at all, with Tendulkar only scoring 232 for Rohit Sharma, 42 for Dinesh Karthik. By the way, still not out right now. Ambati Rayudu, I'm surprised he was pushed so down the order. He was out at 1. Kieron Pollard, he is giving company to Dinesh Karthik right now, and he's only managed to get a run so far.
The odds are against Mumbai Indians winning at this stage because they are down to their last pair. But given the fact Kieron Pollard can change the game in just 2 overs.
That's what I wanted to say.
He can just change the game in 2 overs.
Not only Pollard, but even Dinesh Karthik is capable of doing that.
No, he's already doing it. He's scored 43 in just 33 balls, and he's a very good batsman. And he's a very attacking batsman. So with these two, anything can happen. If they can last another 3 overs and score 10 runs per over, they need to score 10 runs per over in the next 3 overs, then they'll be back in the hunt. Otherwise, they're going to have a very tough time trying to win this game. Odds are against that. If I use my run chase index, they are behind the clock.
Well, friends, you are listening to Full Toss on Radio Dil with your host Amit and Amarnath. Phone number in the studio 732-800-1008. Amarnath, will move on to this day in cricket.
Okay, go ahead.
October 20th.
October 20th.
1964.
1964, then add 25 years. So it comes to 1989 around.
He's only played in one test against India, and it's Rex Sellers. His bowling figures has 5 overs, 1 made in 17 runs.
He played one test against
Only one test against India.
Okay.
Also, October 20th, 1989.
1989. That's a very recent cricketer.
Pakistan wins Sharjah Trophy over India and West Indies on round robin.
Okay.
October 20th, 1992.
1992, okay.
A Zimbabwean batsman, in his first test, he scores 121 versus India on his debut. David Houghton,
okay.
October 20th, 1995.
1995, okay.
Once again, I'll take you to Sharjah.
Sharjah
Trophy Finals. Sri Lanka beats West Indies.
Oh, that's interesting.
On this particular day. October 20th, 1996. Oh, this was phenomenal. I remember watching this, Amarnath, in fact. And no, I didn't watch it. I've actually read this. This was online. I was following it that time. Wasim Akram and Saqlain Mushtaq. They get a cricket test record for 313 for the 8th wicket partnership.
It is Saqlain Mushtaq and Wasim Akram.
No. Yeah, Wasim Akram.
I think he scored 257.
He scored absolutely at 257.
I remember the 257 knock.
And he's scored 12. He hit 12 sixes in that innings, Amarnath.
Yes.
Now let's move on to the birthdays.
Okay.
Born October 20th, 1859.
Wow, 1859. That if I add up 25 years, he would have played in the 1880s.
He's played 4 tests for England.
Okay.
A brother of C.T. Studd, and I'm referring to G.B. Studd.
G.B. Studd. Doesn't ring a bell.
Born October 20th, 1917.
1917. So he'd have played in the...
In 1948, he captained England only once. And I'm referring to Ken Cranston.
Ken Cranston.
Born October 20th, 1954.
1954. I'll know that person.
He's played 2 tests for India versus England in 1982.
for India.
For India, Suru Nayak.
Yes, Suru Nayak, I know. He was a fast bowler.
Yes.
Because his name was very similar to Sudhir Nayak.
Correct.
Suru Nayak. He used to play for Bombay.
Correct.
Yeah, but he played in the 82-83 series, domestic series he played.
Correct. Correct. Also born October 20th, 1957.
1957, around the same 80s time.
He's captain England in 1988.
Captain England.
Son of Colin Cowdrey.
Oh, Chris Cowdrey.
Chris Cowdrey.
Okay, I know that. When he said son of Colin Cowdrey, Chris Cowdrey.
The next one, born October 20th, 1963.
1963, okay.
Highly animated, colorful Indian opener, also commentator. And he's also become a politician now.
Navjot Singh Sidhu. You don't have to complete it. I knew it. Once you said colorful commentator, that was enough.
Sidhuisms. We talk about Sidhuisms all the time.
He's an opener and commentator, and the politician you didn't have to say.
Also born October 20th, 1966. Great South African fast bowler.
Alan Donald. Great fast.
Absolutely right.
If you say 66, I added 25 years, so it's 1991. Great fast bowler of that time has to be Alan Donald.
Great statistician.
The White Lightning.
Yes, indeed. That's what is referred to. Born October 20th, 1970.
1970.
A South African fast bowler. He made his debut at the Shield Trophy at the age of 17. Shane George. Never really played for Australia after that.
Okay.
Born October 20th, 1978.
1978. So that means it'll be 2002, 2000.
Indian opener.
Virendra
Sehwag. Okay. I didn't even have to complete the rest. Viru is celebrating his birthday today.
I added 25 years. 2002, around that time.
Yes.
India visited...
Absolutely right.
Okay.
Born October 20th, 1980.
1980, so 25.
Pakistani test pace bowler of 1998, Faisal Akbar.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Born October 20th, 1981.
81.
Indian pace bowler in 2003. He didn't play too many matches. Avishkar Salvi.
Yes, one-day bowler he was.
He was a one-day bowler.
For Mumbai, he has bowled a lot.
Yes.
Avishkar Salvi. Yes.
Avishkar Salvi.
Oh, yes.
And last but not the least, born October 20th, 1982.
1982, okay.
Pakistani pacer. Mohammad Asif.
Mohammad Asif?
Yes, indeed, sir.
The match fixer?
Correct.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's what he's remembered now.
Unfortunately.
No,
he was a great fast bowler who threw it away.
Correct. He threw it away. Amarnath will quickly move on to the obituaries. Passed away October 20th, 1941. Okay. Now, this is World War II. During that time, he's played 15 tests for England. He's taken 16 wickets. Is Ken Farnes.
Ken Farnes. I've heard that name. Ken Farnes.
Yes, Ken Farnes. Well, Amarnath, that was our This Day in Cricket segment. And listeners can also find this information on our blog, fulltosscricket.com. And I'm also happy to announce that on our YouTube channel, Amarnath, we're getting a great response and support from our listeners.
True, very true.
And, those of you those of you are already going on the site. And for some of you who want to go, you can always log on to YouTube and just type in Full Toss Cricket Show.
Or if you go to our blog, a link is there.
A link is there as well.
It is embedded within the blog.
Friends, you are listening to Full Toss with Amarnath and Amit on Radio Dil, online radiodil.com, iPhone downloads application known as Radio Dil. Phone in the studio 732-800-1008. Aap sun rahe Radio Dil. Dil se, Dil tak. Amarnath will quickly go ahead and take our short drinks break. And when we do come back, we still have some issues that we want to discuss.
Okay.
And, I'll take you into some of the domestic cricket and most importantly, some of the series that are going to be taking place very soon. South Africa, Australia, then you have Sri Lanka, New Zealand, India, and England.
Okay.
So we'll be talking about all of that. Stay tuned, friends. We'll be right back after these short messages from our sponsor. Welcome back, friends. You are listening to Full Toss on Radio Dil, online radiodil.com for iPhone downloads application known as Radio Dil. You can also listen to us on your regular phones. Dial in the number 408-418-5000. Once again, that is 408-418-5000 for Android phones. Application known as Tune Radio. Phone number in the studio 732-800-1008. Aap sun rahe Radio Dil. Dil se, Dil tak. Time in the studio is 2:39. This is your host, Amit. Would like to welcome back our listeners for the second half. Amarnath, welcome back to the second half as well.
Thank you very much.
And in the first half, Amarnath, we had a pretty interesting mix. We touched base on various issues, including the ongoing Champions League T20 match. And here's a quick look at the scorecard for Mumbai Indians, who are chasing a target of 174 against the Chennai Super Kings. Chennai Super Kings posted 173 in their batting first in 20 overs. And currently Mumbai is at 121 after losing 4 wickets in 16. This is into the 17th over. In fact, currently they need 53 runs in 19 deliveries and 6 wickets in hand, with Dinesh Karthik not out at 59, and Kieron Pollard is giving him company at the score of 7. Now, as our in-house analyst, expert, statistician, and somebody who does the fundamental analysis for all these matches, Amarnath had already mentioned that before we went on the break, that the chances are very, very slim statistically, looking at the numbers. But again, it's not over until it's over.
Now,
At this stage, Amarnath, your take?
It's an uphill climb. They need to score 17 runs per over in the next 3 overs. And they can do it for about 2 overs. I won't put it past them. Can they do it for 3 overs? That's a tall order. So odds are still against Mumbai winning this game. But hey, this is cricket. Interesting things happen. That's what you watch it till the very end.
Now, Amarnath, talking about interesting things happen, let me just go over some of the did you knows that I brought in today.
Okay.
Did you know among top order partnerships, wicket from 1 through 6, Alistair Cook and Andrew Strauss pair holds the record for the highest number of 0-run partnerships, which is 11 of them.
11 0-run partnerships.
Correct.
I knew of 100-run partnerships. I didn't know this. This statistic.
They still hold the record of that. And not far behind them is Sanat Jayasuriya and Marvin Atapattu.
How many they had?
10 of them.
My God. Yes. 11 and 10.
11 and 10.
Before the scorekeepers
exactly
were put to work.
Correct. Absolutely right, sir.
Okay.
And did you know when Dhoni asked Ojha to open the bowling in the second test against New Zealand, and it was for the first time in Indian cricket history that a spinner bowled the first ball of a test match?
Okay.
Anybody wants to challenge that?
No, I can. I think so.
Go ahead.
I think Chandrasekhar opened the bowling for India in 1966-67 Brabant Test.
I dare not to challenge you. On this one,
against
definitely.
Against the West Indies, 1966-67, and he took 2 wickets, by the way.
But did he bowl the first delivery? Was he the bowler who delivered
in the second innings? In the second innings, yes, he opened the bowling in the second innings. I'm sure of that.
Okay, let's follow on that.
Okay.
Again, as I said, I dare not to challenge you.
No, I'm almost certain.
As Mr. Kirmani has also accepted, and he said that you are the cricket encyclopedia.
That is very kind of Kirmani ji to mention that. It gives me a great amount of pleasure to read about cricket all the time.
Well, friends, you can also find this Did You Know on our blog, fulltosscricket.com. Amarnath, before we move on to our next topics, and I know we have a whole bunch of them, news from England.
Yes.
About Tony Greig.
Yes, from Australia rather.
Australia, yes, indeed, sir. He's been diagnosed with cancer, and he's definitely going through some treatment on that, so we wish him the best.
It's really sad. It was pretty shocking. He seemed to be looking quite healthy and normal, even in the World T20, even
yes, indeed.
Watched him.
Yes, indeed.
That he's been diagnosed with lung cancer.
Yes, indeed.
He thought he had bronchitis, but then now they found. So he's going to be trying to fight that off for the next 4 months, he said. He's not going to be commentating. We want to wish him the very best.
Absolutely, sir. Amarnath, Australia versus South Africa series.
Yes.
This is going to be an exciting series that will be happening very soon. And by the way, this is going to be taking place in Australia.
I can't wait to follow that.
Yes,
series.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, here's a quick look at the fixtures.
Okay.
The first test that will begin on November 19th. Australia versus South Africa at Brisbane.
Okay.
The second test will begin on November 22nd. That will be played at Adelaide. Test number 3 will be played at Perth, starting on November 30th.
Okay.
And they're only playing 3 test matches, South Africa and Australia.
It's sad.
It is sad.
It is sad. They should have at least a 5-test series because these are 2 very good teams, and it'll be worth to see a prize fight. 3 test matches, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends in a 1-1 tie, which would be sad. And Glenn McGrath has already jumped into the fray and said, Amla needs to be targeted. He said, if he was playing for Australia, still...
Let me tell you something. He's super hot right now in terms of his... he's on a roll right now. Let me put it this way.
Unbelievable.
I mean, regardless of what format he's playing.
He didn't do so well for South Africa in the World T20, and South Africa lost all their matches.
Correct.
South Africa's fate is tied to Amla.
So that is a fixture for Australia versus South Africa. Will be played in Australia. Now here is a fixture for Sri Lanka versus New Zealand, Amarnath.
Sri Lanka versus New Zealand.
The first test.
And it is in New Zealand.
It's in Sri Lanka.
It's in Sri Lanka. Oh,
in
very
Sri Lanka.
Good.
The first ODI, Sri Lanka versus New Zealand, will be played at the Pellekele International Stadium. That will begin on November 1st. That's a day-night match.
Okay.
The second one-day international, Sri Lanka versus New Zealand, will be played at the Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. That will begin. That will be on November the 4th. Also a day-night match.
Okay.
ODI number 3 will be played same venue on November 6th. Fourth one-day international will be played in Hambantota.
Okay.
That's a great stadium, by the way. That will be on the Saturday, November 10th. Also a day-night match. Fifth one-day international will be played at the same venue again on November the 12th. Wow. And they have 5 one-day internationals and 2 test matches. The first test will begin at the Gale International Stadium on Saturday, November 17th. And the second test will begin on Sunday, November 25th. That is Sri Lanka versus New Zealand, Amarnath. So that was the fixture. These are two of the upcoming series for our listeners and also for us to watch. Now here comes the most exciting part, Amarnath. India versus England.
Can't wait for that.
Battle almost everybody's waiting for.
The Royal... And Peterson is back in the England team.
Peterson is back in the England team, and another exciting news I really want to share with you and our listeners. You know how excited we get about new venues. Ranchi has gotten an approval from ICC. Ranchi.
Oh,
hometown of Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
For ODI match? Or?
ODI match, India and England match, Amarnath.
Okay. Oh,
they have gotten a green light from ICC when they reviewed.
It'll be really interesting to see.
It will be very interesting to see. Also, Dharamshala will be hosting its one international very soon also.
It's very picturesque.
It's very picturesque. It's actually situated at the highest elevation in the world above the sea level for any cricket matches to take place.
I would like to go and see a match there. It'll be when I see it on television.
I know some. I've talked to some people who have seen this ground, and their thing was it's absolutely phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. So we'll see. So good luck to both these venues, and welcome to the cricket arena.
Right.
And I'm happy for the people in Dharamshala and Ranchi.
Okay.
They finally get to see some matches there as well. Amarnath, India versus England. A lot of hype has been created. There's no surprise there. Let me just go over the fixture real quickly.
Okay.
And then I'll discuss with you some of the matches. The first test will begin on November the 15th.
November the 15th, the day of just after Diwali.
Correct. At the Sardar Patel Stadium in Motera, Ahmedabad.
Okay.
The second test will begin on November 23rd. Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai.
Wankhede.
Third test will begin on December the 5th at Eden Gardens in Kolkata.
So they're having...
Fourth test will begin on December 13th. And this will be played at the Vidarbha Cricket Association in Jamtha, Nagpur.
Okay, Jamtha, Nagpur.
So these are the 4 venues for the test matches, Amarnath. You have Ahmedabad, the first test. The second test will be in Mumbai. Third test will be in Kolkata. And fourth will be in Nagpur. Now here I'll come into that. There will be 2 T20 tournaments in this one. And one of them will, the first one is on December 20th. And that will be played in Pune. Okay. At the Subrata Roy Sahara Stadium. It's a very good venue. You must have seen that
in IPL matches.
And the second T20 will be played at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai.
Okay.
So the first one is on December 20th and the second one is on December 22nd. Now here comes the ODIs. There will be 5 ODIs between India and England. Here's how they go. The first one international will be played at the Saurashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Rajkot. Beautiful stadium.
Okay.
This stadium has been constructed under the guidance of Niranjan Shah.
Okay.
We all know who Niranjan Shah is, by the way. He's done a lot to the cricket.
For the BCCI.
For BCCI is there. It's a beautiful stadium. In fact, one of the domestic matches were held there recently. I think it was the Challengers or the Irani Trophy, one of them. They were played there. The second one international will be played at the Nehru Stadium in Kochi on January 15th. By the way, Rajkot will be on January 11th.
Okay.
Third one international, India versus England, will be played at the HEC International Cricket Stadium Complex in Ranchi. And that's on January 19th. That's a day-night match.
Okay.
In fact, all of them are day-night matches. The next one is also a day-night match. The fourth one, international, will be played at the Punjab Cricket Association, Mohali, Chandigarh, on January 23rd. That's also a day-night match. And the fifth one, international, fifth and the last, will be played on January 27th, and that will be played at the Himachal Pradesh Cricket Association Stadium in Dharamshala. And that's a day match.
Okay, so nothing in the south but for Kochi.
Kochi, exactly. So Amarnath, these are the venues, this is the fixture we have, and let's get into India and England. Kevin Pietersen is back.
His process of reintegration is over.
Do you expect any drastic changes from either of the teams? Well, we know about Kevin Pietersen. Any other changes from England and India?
It'll be a big challenge for England to play the Indian spinners. And I think Kevin Pietersen is going to show them how to play the Indian spinners. That's going to be the key factor. You have to remember, Strauss is not there anymore.
Correct.
So there'll be a new opener. It'll be yet to be seen how Bell is an important player.
What? I'm glad you mentioned his name because they have been grooming Bell. They have tried to use his combination. It has worked for them.
Yes. So Bell might be pushed up the order. It'll be interesting to...
What a success story Bell has been, Amarnath.
They stuck with him and he has scored a lot. It'll be interesting to see whether he can maintain it. Beating India in India is always a very tough ask. And given the fact that there is so much of rivalry between India and England, it'll be a wonderful series to see how it works out. And I would really like to see a good contest. I wouldn't be surprised to see Swan trying to show that he can be a good finger spinner on Indian wickets. Because all said and done, Swan is a very good bowler. And if he gets some amount of support, I want to see who else they will bring in to give him support. And
for Team India, any changes that you would expect?
I would keep my options open for the spinners. Okay. Let us see if Ashwin can deliver. Ashwin and Oja. I'm still not convinced about Ashwin.
Neither am I.
He did very well against New Zealand. Let me give him that much.
How come you haven't mentioned Bhaji yet?
Bhaji, he has not really done well so far. He bowled well against England in the T20. Bowling in T20 is quite different from bowling.
Indeed.
And yes, I hope he has a good series. They should give him a chance on Indian wickets. But he has to deliver quickly.
Now, if he has to make a comeback, would you rather have him make a comeback on the Indian soil or go abroad? Obviously,
on the Indian soil. Give him the chance in Indian soil to run through the England team if possible. But he needs to take a whole lot of wickets pretty quickly. Otherwise, if we are going to experiment, I would rather experiment with a newcomer. But I'll give him 2 tests. I would give him 2 tests and see whether he's able to get back his old magic.
A lot of questions have been raised about the Indian opening partnership between Gambhir and Sehwag. Is that going to be a matter of concern for you, Amarnath?
It's not a matter of concern. I think both of them are going to score very heavily against England. They will take their revenge. That's my feeling. This is the time for all the vengeance against the last tour that's going to come through. And if either of them fail, Rahane is waiting in the wings, so it doesn't bother me too much.
I know we know Chetesh Pujara will definitely get a nod ahead of anybody else.
He's going to become 1 down, and Sachin is 2 down. 3 down, you have Virat Kohli. So 4 down is the question: who's going to come in 4 down?
Between Yuvi and Raina,
I would go with Yuvi. The fact that he has scored 200 runs. See, you have got 3 people to fight for. Yuvi, Raina and Rohit Sharma. You know what, Amarnath? We have been plastering him for the last so many months, but Rohit Sharma is definitely a contender. He's a contender.
For that spot.
He was not a failure in the T20. He was not a flop in the T20. He did play well.
And, going with Dhoni's mindset and his philosophy, I wouldn't be surprised to see Sharma also getting a chance ahead of either one of them.
Either of Raina or
Yuvi.
See, that's the thing about Dhoni. He's willing to take chances. He's willing to take chances, and it'll be interesting to see. He might take Yuvi because but of course, if it is a one-day game, he's going to go with Yuvi. No question about that. As a Test cricketer, let us see. It's interesting to see there are 3 spots.
Amanath, I'm also going to touch upon another issue that we have been discussing it for many, many years, and Mr. Kirmani also touched based upon this one, is about the wicket keeping and how much longer can Dhoni continue to be at this position. He's keeping for all the formats, even for the Test matches. There isn't really anybody else that they are grooming. Except Parthiv Patel, who has gotten some chances in the last year or so. I know Dinesh Karthik is doing a superb job in domestic cricket, especially on Indian soil. He's very effective.
Yes. And he's a good batsman too.
He's very good at the bat.
I would keep my reserve options. I'll reserve it for Parthiv Patel and Dinesh Karthik. If we want to give a rest for Dhoni, these 2 should be considered.
Okay.
I don't know how many people know, Karnataka had a very good wicketkeeper called Tilak Naidu.
Yes.
He retired.
You mentioned that.
Tilak Naidu. He retired recently. In any other time, he would have been just like how great spinners were forgotten in the yesteryears. Great wicketkeepers were lost out because Dhoni has been there.
Now, Amanath, before I move on to our next topic of this real quickly, I wanted to highlight something that Mr. Kirmani had to say, that if you really want great wicketkeepers now, you need to provide Chandra Bedi and Prasanna. I mean, without that, you're not going to have great wicket keepers in the past.
That was a great answer from Kirmani. He, rather than praising himself or telling that you're not going to find, he said, you're not going to find another Kirmani unless you find Prasanna Bedi and Chandrasekhar. He clearly said he became great only because he kept wickets to great bowlers. They lifted his game up, and it is the measure of that man.
Amanath, now. Here's I just want our last segment for today is a tribute segment.
Okay.
And in today's tribute segment, friends, we have not one but 2 individuals. I think it's really worth mentioning their names, and for the sheer fact the contribution they had, it's unbelievable. The 2 names, Rajendra Goyal and Padmakar Shivalkar, Amanath.
These were 2 very great left-arm spinners.
Never got
at the same time. At the same time
as Chandra Bedi and Prasanna.
But they are at the same time of Bedi, Bishan Singh Bedi.
Correct.
Bishan Singh Bedi got his chance, bowled brilliantly, and kept his place in the Indian side, and bottled up the chances for any other left-arm spinner. And it is very, very sad that people like Rajendra Goyal and Padmakar Shivalkar never got the chance to play for India. By the way, Rajendra Goyal did play for India in one unofficial test.
Yes, in fact, I'm going to get to that. That was played in Ahmedabad
against Ceylon. Or Sri Lanka of those days.
Well, here's Rajendra Goyal, who was born September 20th, 1942 in Haryana. And here are his stats, Amanath. This is staggering, unbelievable. He's played 157 first-class matches. He has scored 1,037 runs. Look at his bowling figures, Amanath. He has taken 750 wickets.
750. Unbelievable.
At an average of 18.58.
So in about 150 matches, 750. Means every match, 5 wickets is guaranteed.
Yes, absolutely right. You got it, my friend.
5 wickets every match is in the bag.
He's got 59 5 wickets in an innings. And look at this. He's got 10 wickets in a match. 18 of those matches he had.
And see his average.
Yes, absolutely correct, sir. Rajendra Goyal, once again, yes, he did play in one unofficial test in Ahmedabad in 1964 and 65, where he took 4 for 33. And obviously, as Amanath mentioned, right after, once Bishan Singh Bedi came with a similar style, cemented his place, Goyal never got a chance to play for India. And what Amanath mentioned to me before the show, that he was never he's still not bitter about it.
He's not bitter. All his interviews I've seen, he only said that he was born at the wrong time. He was born at the wrong time, and so he doesn't curse the selectors or curse anybody. He said that's the greatness of that man. You play with such a smile and take tons of wickets. In any other country, he would have played for their country, not just for India. He could have walked into the team, any team in the world, including South Africa or West Indies, based on his quality of left-arm spin.
Now, Goyal also went past V.V. Kumar's Ranji record of 417 wickets.
That is another great name.
In 1979-78, 78-79 season. Go ahead.
V.V. Kumar also was in the same class, who never really got a chance to play for India, apart from the first 2 tests, because others were dominating.
By the way, his 600 victim was Chandrakant Pandit. Remember Chandrakant Pandit?
Yes, absolutely.
He was caught at deep square leg in the Ranji semi-final against Bombay in 1983-84. At that time it was Bombay, that's why I said Bombay. Goyal retired after taking 39 wickets in 1984-85 season. And his 640 wicket is a record by a long way. Venkat Raghavan with 530 wickets.
Okay.
You remember that, I don't have to tell you all these things. He took more than 25 Ranji wickets in a season 15 times. Can you believe that? 15 times he has done that. 25 Ranji wickets.
That's a very short season, mind you.
Including last 9 seasons. Consecutively he has taken that. And he's taken Haryana reached to Ranji semi-finals thrice during Goyal's time. And their first appearance in the final happened in the season after his retirement. Now, Goyal is also one of, he's also... As I said, Amarnath, I mean, this is something, 750 wickets, it's
staggering.
Staggering. And here comes the next one. And I think he's also equally contributed to the domestic front, and I'm referring to Padmakar Shivalkar.
Of Mumbai or Bombay.
Mumbai. He's born April 14, 1940 in Bombay, well now known as Mumbai. He's also played the first-class cricket as a slow left-arm orthodox bowler, Amarnath. He's spent 20 years playing for Mumbai. And is the team's highest wicket taker of all time. And he was almost 50 when he retired. Can you believe that?
He played from 1961 to 1988.
Absolutely
27 years of first-class cricket. And it is astonishing.
He has taken 589 wickets, Amarnath.
Unbelievable.
In 124 matches. Both of these, both these names. Now I know this was way before my time. I mean, I wasn't even born at that time. These gentlemen were playing. But I've heard it from my dad. I've heard it from my, the family members, people who followed Ranji Trophy matches or, domestic cricket so much. So these two names have been very familiar. Rajinder Goyal and Padmakar Shivalkar.
True.
And it's unfortunate that they never got a chance to represent India. But at the same time, their contribution can never be forgotten.
True.
And what they offered to the domestic front, and it must have been great for people playing against them.
Well, it was not very great for playing against them because they used to get out.
No, I mean what I meant to say.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean I would be petrified facing them.
But the thing is, they were absolutely masters of their domain. They were spin masters. They were left arm greats. They were one of a kind. I think you're not going to find bowlers in Ranji even today with that kind of dominance. You're not going to find Rajinder Goyal or Padmakar Shivalkar in Ranji. It's going to take a long time. Yes, Pragyan Ojha is a good left-arm spinner. So many other left-arm spinners. Take for example, Murali Karthik. Murali Karthik was a good left-arm, but not a great left-arm spinner. They all didn't have the kind of loop or flight, these two people. They had the ball on a string. They had a ball on a string and they knew exactly when to pull it back.
Unbelievable.
So the amount of revolutions they could put on the ball.
Now, Manat, in your playing days, did you ever get a chance to play against either of the gentlemen?
No. I played only up to a schoolboy cricketers level. But I've seen Rajinder Goyal play in Delhi Ranji Trophy matches. And it was mesmerizing just to see his smooth run-up and delivery. And the complete confidence with which they could attack the batsman. They didn't hesitate to give the ball flight. See, today's bowlers are afraid of getting hit because they have a defensive mindset. People like Shivalkar. Now, you have to remember, in those days, Mumbai, even today, were a powerhouse. They believed in being aggressive. They knew there were enough batsmen to score runs for them. So they went all out. Shivalkar, when he came, was deadly. Same thing with Rajinder Goyal. They were all deadly on their days, and they could have run through any batting lineup.
Well, friends, that was our tribute on Padmakar Shivalkar and also on Rajendra Goyal. You can also find this tribute on our blog, fulltosscricket.com. You can also listen to it on our YouTube channel, that is Full Toss Cricket Show. You can just log on to YouTube, type in Full Toss Cricket Show. Today's show will be uploaded by tomorrow, I guess, Amarnath?
Yes, but tomorrow morning.
By tomorrow morning it will be there. So you can log on to YouTube and you can listen to this tribute as well. Amarnath, I also want to thank one of our listeners who called us from India, Shripat Kulkarni from Pune, Maharashtra.
Very nice of that gentleman to call. It motivates us to put up a better, good and better
Sorry
show.
to disappoint you that you were not speaking with Jimmy Amarnath. Instead, you're speaking with Sam Amarnath.
Sam Baswan Amarnath.
Well, Shripat, thank you so much. I know Shripat has been a good listener. He's been a listener of Radio Dil for quite some time. So we appreciate you supporting Radio Dil and supporting Full Toss and other shows as well. Go ahead, Amarnath.
No, continue.
And keep supporting us. Keep supporting the good shows. It means a lot to us.
Now, given the fact how we are doing the show in November and December.
Yes, indeed, friends. Thank you for someone, Amarnath. In fact, today will be our last show for this year.
For this season.
For this season now. We will come back on air in 2013 now.
2013. There are unforeseen circumstances which prevent us from doing the show in November and December. I want everyone to wish Amit all the very best in the coming days.
Thank you so much, Amarnath, and thank you very much, listeners, for giving us the support. We had a pretty interesting, great year, Amarnath.
Yes.
We had some great moments here on Full Toss, which we definitely will cherish it. And we're leaving today with the promise of bringing back much more in 2013.
Yes, this was a wonderful year, topped off with Kirmani's
absolutely right
appearance. And
Shripat, who knows? Shripat Kulkarni, if you're still listening, who knows? We may even, we'll try to see if we can get Jimmy Amarnath on the show.
Yeah, Mohit Amarnath we might land an interview with him.
So we're working on it. Friends, thank you so much for all your support that you have given us and you are giving us on our YouTube channel. We have close to 6,000 already now, Amarnath?
Yes, 6,000 hits almost.
6,000 hits almost. So keep supporting us on that. You're not only supporting us, but you're also supporting your domestic cricket. And it is our commitment here at Full Toss to promote domestic cricket as much as possible in all corners of this country, and also back home where we try to promote domestic cricket as much. So thank you so much for your participation and your support. Above all, Amarnath, I want to thank you for your contributions, your expertise and your knowledge you bring to this table. It makes it absolutely much more interesting.
It is always a privilege and pleasure talking about cricket to this audience.
So friends, we'll see you back. We'll talk to you in 2013. Till then, everybody, have a fantastic weekend, have fantastic upcoming holidays, and have a safe one.
Sure.
We'll be back here in 2000.